Okay, we are back live from Cancun and the Sands and final broadcast day here. And I just was watching this guy do this huge meet and greet of all these fans coming up and taking pictures with him. And now he's just broken off to give us a few minutes here on the air. We welcome the legendary Corey Feldman. Good to see you, Corey.
How are you, Eddie?
I'm good. Thanks for coming by.
Good. Thanks for having me.
You having fun at this thing?
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, well, you as well.
Broadcasting live. How exciting is that?
You look the same, man.
Well, what am I supposed to look like?
I don't know. If
all of a sudden I came in here and I looked like Gary Coleman, there'd be a problem. Like, what is wrong with that guy, man? I swear, he used to look like a normal dude, and now he's shrunk and he's turned, his skin's getting darker,
But you don't look...
It's reverse osmosis of Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
No,
you knew well.
I'm just joking.
But seriously, there's a lot. You started out so young in all these great movies that you made, and you look like the same guy. That's 30 years ago, man. How'd you do that?
A lot of people say that to me, and I say, well, I just don't believe in aging. I just think it's a farce. Unfortunately, it's a farce that people buy into. And when I really believe that visualization is manifestation and realization is your reality. So in other words, you can manifest your reality and you can visualize what you want that reality to look like. So when I was young, I thought, and I am still young, but I thought, I'm never going to age. I don't believe in aging. I don't want to be one of those guys that's old and crotchety. So I plan to kind of, I would watch Dick Clark and Paul McCartney and guys like that, and you'd always hear people like, they don't age. Look, they look exactly. How does Dick Clark stay so young? Yeah. That was the thing forever, right? Everybody thought Dick Clark is never going to age. And it wasn't until he was 90 that he finally looked like an old man, you know? But that said, same with Paul McCartney. Paul's looked great all these years. Now he finally is looking old, but he's what, 80-something,
82 or something like that, yeah.
So the point is that I think those guys are onto something, which is that you can stay youthful, you can stay vital, as long as you believe in it, and you got to keep up with very healthy stuff, right?
You're drinking a Coca-Cola, dude.
Yeah. But I'm also a vegetarian. I don't drink alcohol.
All right.
I don't smoke cigarettes. Don't do hard drugs. So I think I kind of beat the game there with all the stuff that I don't put into my body.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, good on you, man, because again, you look great, and I know that obviously we have limited time here because there's so much we could talk about and your amazing history and all these great movies that you've made, but you're here actually beyond meeting and greeting people. You're here with your band. You're playing, right?
Not here with my band.
Okay.
Not here with my band. I'm here with my wife.
All right.
But my wife happens to be a DJ, so DJ AC is her professional name.
Okay.
And but Courtney Feldman to the rest of us. But anyway, so Courtney has been DJing for me for the last decade, since basically we started dating. When she came into my life, she came in as the DJ who was going to run my stuff at the Corey's Angels parties back when we were doing that. And she was picked as the face of the Angels because she was young and beautiful and had all of that we were looking for, beauty and talent and charm. And so, but we hit it off. We ended up having an intimate relationship. We ended up getting married. But through that, she's continued to DJ for me. And now she doesn't only DJ, but she's also a pianist. She also sings. So in the tour, on the big tour that we're doing right now, we've already finished the first leg, which went across summer, which was called the Love Retours Tour. And it went starting from June all the way across America. And then we came back for a few weeks, and now we're going out on phase 2. And phase 2 begins this weekend, Halloween weekend. We're doing 3 shows over Halloween weekend. The first one in Houston/Katy, Texas, which is going to be a lot of fun. That's on Saturday night. On Sunday night, we're in New Orleans at the House of Blues. And then on Monday, which is Halloween night, we come back to Dallas and we do a big Dallas Lost Boys Halloween party.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Concert, they're showing my movie, a costume contest, which apparently I'm judging. So that should be a lot of fun. Just a few cute girls in Dallas. You know how that goes. And then, it should be a good time. And then after that, we take a day off, and then we go back on the road. And we're going all the way up to Chicago on this run, and Iowa, and then heading back. Then there is rumor that we're even going to do a third one before the year is up. So I think we're going to actually keep touring all the way through Christmas, right up until like a few days before Christmas. And we haven't announced those shows yet, but I've been, getting a little buzz in my ear that it is going to happen. So everybody keep your fingers crossed, keep your eyes open, and hopefully we'll see you back on the road before the year's over. And then the big plan is, hopefully, next year, international. We want to go all over the world.
When you play live, when you do these shows, it's a full band. You go out with a full band.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned, of course, one of the many great movies you were in, The Lost Boys. You mentioned that you're doing a tie-in with that. Do you do a track from that soundtrack? Do you do Cry Little Sister live?
So here's the fun thing about our show.
Great song.
Thank you. It's not my song, but yes,
Gerard McMahon did that, right?
Yes, G-Tom Mac.
Yeah.
So here's which we, by the way, the last first leg of the tour we did, we actually had G on as an opener for us. He opened for us in San Antonio, and we did a whole Lost Boys weekend. But here's the deal. So my show is a lot of fun because it's not just me doing my, background stuff like the old classics that you might remember, but we're doing like the new songs from the new album, which right now we have a song that's at number 21 on the adult contemporary Billboard chart, which is called Without You, which is a song I wrote to my wife. So we've got the new stuff, but then we've also got the classics like, the first song I ever did or released on vinyl in 1989 was from the Dream a Little Dreams soundtrack, and it's called Something in Your Eyes, which I co-wrote and co-produced with Michael Damian. So that first single is, kind of the cornerstone of what started it all. And then I did like 10 film soundtracks through the years. So we perform a bit of those, the cult classic film soundtracks like Rock and Roll High School Forever, Dream a Little Dream, Dream a Little Dream 2, all those movies where I contributed music. But then we also do the number one songs from my number one films. So we have like, my wife does Cyndi Lauper's Goonies Are Good Enough. I played drums on Stand By Me. We just did Stand By Me with Jerry O'Connell on The Talk last week.
Oh, wow.
But we do that during the show as well, live.
Right.
And then, yes, we do Cry Little Sister. And sometimes Jamison Newlander from Lost Boys comes out and joins us on stage. And we've even been known to do People Are Strange with Jamison Newlander. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great show. We have a lot of guest stars that come out throughout the tour. Curtis Young, who's Dr. Dre's son, was on my last single. It's called The Comeback King. And he has shown up on probably about 7 of the shows. And then Jamison Newlander, Jason Patrick, the star of Lost Boys, was at the San Antonio show as well. So Kerry Green from Goonies came out and sang Goonies Are Good Enough with us. So you never know who's going to pop up or show up and jump out there with us. So it's a lot of fun.
I'm curious where your love of music came from, because you started as an actor extraordinarily young. I think the first thing you did was a commercial when you were like 3 or something. So
we just put out this box set, right?
Yeah.
And the box set is actually to help people understand my history as a musician, because it's very confusing for a lot of people, especially the younger kids. They hear my songs on the radio now, or they see my videos, and they don't even know that the old life, you know what I mean? They're like,
they only know you as a music
right?
guy.
So they're like, oh well, yeah, that guy Corey, he had some movies before too.
Yeah, a lot.
You know what I mean? It's like, yes, I did. You might want to watch them.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, that's cool. And the thing about it is, people don't realize, but we explain all this throughout the box set. The box set is great. It's 4 discs of CDs, 2 DVDs, and in those 2 DVDs is a documentary where we go back and interview all the people who've been intricate parts of my music career from the beginning and all the way through till now.
Oh,
so
cool.
Don Dawkin, Michael Damian, Mickey Thomas from Starship.
Sure.
All these people are a big part of it. And like Mickey came back and we redid Dream a Little Dream 30 years later as a duet, which is a fantastic single on the new album. And then Michael Damian, who co-wrote Something in Your Eyes with me and did Rock On, the number 1 song from Dream a Little Dream soundtrack. So there's a lot of that. And then there's like surprises, like people don't realize that were on my first album. Like Dean Pleasance from Suicidal Tendencies actually played guitar on Feeling Funky. But like a lot of people don't realize, like we had so many cool Lita Ford, Hunt Sales, all these great people. So the fun of the box set is, for the first time you hear the explanation. And the explanation is, I started doing music first. People don't realize this.
How old were you when you started music?
3.
So, and that was around the time you did your first commercial, which was your first acting thing. So it was right in the same time.
So here's what happened. What happened was my father was in a band, always, right? But he was in the Strawberry Alarm Clock. And there's another guy
Your dad was in the Strawberry Alarm Clock?
And there's another guy named Robert Feldman, by the way. If you Google Robert Feldman thinking it's my dad, it's not my dad. There's a guy that wrote I Want Candy for the Strangeloves, and his name happens to be Robert Feldman. Totally different guy.
The same song Bow Wow Wow covered?
Yes, that song.
Okay.
Right. So the guy who wrote that song is named Robert Feldman, but that's not my dad.
All right.
But my dad is a bass player, singer, and he was in Strawberry Alarm Clock. So it was around, that all the time, the rehearsals and the drum set up in the middle of the living room and amps everywhere.
Sure.
I was used to that life. And then my sister was on the Mickey Mouse Club. So she was actually singing and dancing live on stage every summer for Disney. So between all that, I was very musical. But then as a 3-year-old kid, it's not like you can, be a 3-year-old kid and go, do commercials and read lines. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. Sorry, I'm my wife is texting me right now. Anyway, so you can't really go in and you can't really read lines, on a stage or in a room because you don't know how to read yet. So therefore, how do you get a kid to pass an audition? The best way is for them to look cute, right? So how can you look cute? Well, why don't you go in and sing? I like music. My mom knew I liked music, so she would stick me in a room and she would have me sing on stage live, inside the room. I mean, it was a fascinating thing, but I would learn the music, I would learn the song, I'd be stuck in my room, I'd come out, and then I'd have it memorized, and I'd go in and I'd sing, and they'd give me the job. And that was kind of how it worked, so that's how I started.
I'm curious, how much did your friendship with Michael Jackson impact your music career? Did you learn from him? Did you ever do music with him? Did he ever write or record with you? Or was there a big influence from him on you from the music side?
Yes. Well, Michael obviously was a huge influence of mine, obviously growing up. And definitely you can hear the influence of my music, and people tell me all the time that there's a lot of similarities. But when you're, first of all, I studied him, I mean, that's really what got me inspired to not just sing, because obviously I was singing since I was very little, but to dance. The dancing came from him and the style of that. So,
when you would hang with him, would you guys do stuff like that?
We would dance together, yeah.
And
when I played him I only played him one song ever. He saw Dream a Little Dream. He knew about my dancing, but he didn't really know about my music. So I played him one song, which was What's Up With the Youth, when he was working on In the Closet, which is a short film he did for his Dangerous album. And I played it for him, and I said, what do you think? And he said, Corey, that's a #1 hit. That song is a #1 hit. I could walk it in right now to CBS Records. I'll walk you into Tommy Mottola, and I'll get you a #1 song if you let me. And I said, Michael, I appreciate it, but I don't want to do it that way. I'm your friend, and I'm not here to use you. Right. I know a lot of other people probably are here to get what they can out of you, but I just want to be your friend.
I'm sure he respected that a lot.
And number 2 is I also don't want to be the guy that's, the Michael Jackson one-hit wonder protege.
Right.
I figure, if I'm going to make an enduring, lasting commitment and career out of my music, I got to do it the right way. I've got to earn it. I've got to work for it. So that's what I've done. I literally, my first gigs as a musician, not as the actor, but as the musician, my first gigs, I got paid $150.
Wow.
After I was very famous, doing #1 films in the box office,
right.
And I'd immediately sell out the rooms. There'd be screaming fans, dozens of screaming fans, but that didn't matter, because these tiny little clubs, they don't care. They don't have the money. No matter how many people show up, they've got to make their overhead. So anyway, and they're like, we don't know if you're going to do well. You tell us it's going to sell out, but we don't know it's going to,
right.
Whatever. So they'd give me $150. The next gigs, we got $300. And I had to work my way up to a real musician salary.
Yeah, well, you put the work. You could have taken that easy route. You were so close with Michael. You could have just gotten on his coattails, and he could have walked you into anything, like you said. But you wanted to put the work in, so it would be a credible, real thing. And I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
I know that you've got limited time here with me today, but I want you to be able to tell the audience, above and beyond the music stuff, you mentioned all the touring that you have coming up with the band. Do you have anything coming up as far as TV or movies that you have lined up next?
Not that that I'm aware of. No, we have, I did a bunch of cameos and stuff like that.
Right.
There's a couple short films that I'm in actually right now that are at various festivals. I know that I've got one in the Toronto Film Festival right now. But these are animated shorts that I did my voiceovers for. So I did some stuff like that. There's a couple films that I've got cameos in. But nothing like I'm not starring in any new movies. The last lead role that I put out was Corbin Nash in 2018, where I played a vampire, and that's it. I did my documentary in 2020, and since that, it was the pandemic, right? So nobody did anything in that period of time, and I was working hard away on my box set with a new album. So we have a brand new album called Love Left to Army with Love. It's got 18 songs on it. And like I said, the newest single has already gone to the Billboard's top 40. We debuted at number 26, which is my highest debut ever.
Congrats.
And then we moved up to 21 this week. So thank you. No, it's very exciting.
Congrats.
Very exciting.
2 quick questions, and I'll let you go. These might be difficult for you to answer. Your favorite TV moment, your or show or moment that you were in television, and your favorite movie that you've made.
Favorite TV moment would probably have to go to my first kiss on TV, because my first kiss on TV was my first kiss in real life.
Oh, is that right?
So there you go.
How old were you?
The magic and the wonderment of like, what's this going to be like?
How old were you?
Weird kiss thing. 7.
7?
Yes.
Oh my! Does somebody coach you for that? Like, here's how you
there was a lot of
connect lips at 7.
Yeah. And it was like a lot of this.
You practiced on your hand?
No. I mean, like, that was us, like me and the girl.
Oh,
like,
nervous.
Like with our lips pushed against each other, staring at each other, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Your breath smells weird.
Who was the girl? Did she go on to become known?
She did not go on to become known. She did act for several years, but I wish I could remember. I can remember Tanya was her name.
Not Tanya Roberts.
Not Tanya Roberts. Tanya, I can't remember off the
Your
top
first
of my head.
kiss was Tanya at 7.
But brunette, blue eyes, beautiful girl.
You remember that?
Yes, very beautiful girl. I was very pleased to have her as my first kiss. It was very sweet.
And what about your favorite movie? Your personal favorite movie you made?
My favorite movie was The Birthday. It's called The Birthday. I got to get going.
I know. We're going to let you go. When did that come out?
That came out in 2005, but you can't find it in America. It's exclusive for Spain and Germany, but if anybody wants to see it, what I consider my finest performance, go to Amazon.ne or Amazon.de, but you got to be a real collector and a real connoisseur to dig it up. You even have to have a code-free region-free coded player. Thank you.
All right.
I'll be here all week.
Thank you for coming by. I know you're busy. Great to meet you.
God bless.
Corey Feldman, everybody. We got to go to a break. When we come back, we'll turn it over to the phones the rest of the way. Trunk Nation live from Cancun today in the Sands. We'll be right back. Wow, so that was different, and that was cool. A totally iconic figure from the 80s, no doubt. Corey Feldman, who is here right now, walking back in. You want to do that? Let's do it. Hold on, Joel. Corey wants to come in and take a picture. We'll do it real quickly. Hold on a second. We're going to do a photo here live on the air. Hold on a second.
What's up, listeners?
What's up, everybody?
All right, everybody's just listening to the background noise of...
Yeah, hold on. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It was live.
I love it.
All right. Thank you, man. I'll come out and see you in a bit. Take care. Corey Feldman coming
way
back.
To make your producer lose his lunch. I'm just walking away from the mic for a minute.
Wait, what happened? Are you all right, Joel?
Oh yeah, no. It's just only your producer having a minor heart attack as the host walks away from the mic.
Hey, it's live, man. Spontaneous. I didn't know the guy was going to come in. So yeah,
that's what we do. All the
That's
time.
awesome. Now he's like milling around. Oh, you had to go run, and now I think his wife called him or something. It's something they had to go deal with really quickly. I'm serious about the guy, though. I'm not kidding. He looks exactly the same. I mean, and he's not like, a lot of old Hollywood, not that he's old, he's in his early 50s, but a lot of Hollywood actors and stuff, as they get older, they're all plastic surgeryed out. They look bizarre and weird and what have you. You can tell the guy looks identical. Apparently you can will yourself to not age. I want to know how you can do that. That was basically his theory when we were talking to him a few minutes ago. So anyway, cool to meet Corey Feldman and have him on the show for a bit. And again, something a little different there. And of course, a music angle, he's definitely passionate about his music, no doubt, as you just heard.